We're eating cow tongue. Let's go far, far away from my comfort zone. This is Jamie and Julia.
Oh! Bon appetit.
There's been so many different types of food on this show that I've tried that if I wasn't filming myself, not in a million years would I ever consider making them, cooking them, eating them. But that's what the show is great at. It's been a stepping stone into, breaking down this food barrier that's been right in front of me. And it's been gradual, you know. We had a tough time at first with certain things like aspic. But since then, there's been roast duck and squab and leg of lamb and rabbit stew and braised sweetbreads. Well, in volume 2 of Mastering the Art of French Cooking, beef tongue has entered the chat. A beautiful beef tongue braising in aromatic sauce smells so good while it is cooking. Looks so splendid when you bring it to the table and makes such a welcome change from the usual fare and main course dishes that you need have no hesitation at all serving it for company. Tongue is all solid meat and therefore something well worth adding to your culinary repertoire. And you can either boil it, you can braise it. I looked online, it seems to be the more common way of doing it is boiling, so that's what we're gonna do. Boiled beef tongue with sweet and sour sauce, pearl onions, and raisins. What do you say? Any questions? Yes, one from me and the guy in the denim shirt. Do I have to do this? There it is. When I bought this, it was all rolled up in a tongue ball and frozen, and I've had it thaw out in some salted water overnight. And yeah, so this is my first time seeing it as is. It's a big ass tongue. Okay, let's just put this off to the side because there's some stuff I gotta do first, starting with washing my hands. Veggies. I need 2 cups of each, roughly sliced. I don't think it matters how I slice these up because we're not reusing them. They're just gonna be hanging out in the tongue water. And no, you can't use that name for a band because if I start a band, that's what I'm using. So dampened cheesecloth, 8 parsley sprigs, a couple sprigs of thyme, 2 unpeeled garlic cloves, 2 bay leaves, 4 allspice berries. Better make it 5. I'm not driving. Tie this all up, check it. So let's remove tongue. Cool. She says to scrub it with a vegetable brush under warm running water and then let it soak for another 2 to 3 hours. But I've already let it soak overnight and I just want to check if that's even necessary this day and age because I don't want to wait another 2 hours. Other cow tongue recipes have no mention of this scrubbing business, so no scrub for me. My big old pot. So once the tongue has been rinsed, are you serious? Into my Dutch oven, my kettle, my pot. Enough water to cover the tongue by 5 inches. That's a lot of inches. 1.5 teaspoons per quart of water. This is around 5 quarts of water. And bring this big pot of tongue to a simmer. Continue to skim the scum for the next few minutes as it continues to rise. Water's a-simmering, add in the vegetables. Careful, careful. And the bouquet. Lid goes on, but slightly askew to encourage circulation. And I gotta let this simmer, like maintaining a simmer for 3 to 3.5 hours. So about halfway through boiling that tongue, the aroma's in the air. It's actually quite nice. She wasn't lying about the smells. As Julia says, since boiling the tongue is so supremely easy to do, you owe something rather special in the way of a sauce, both to the tongue and to those who are about to eat it. Just me. She's not interested. Brown sweet and sour sauce with pearl onions and raisins is a delicious solution. So let's make the sauce. I'm gonna need that open. Of course, I had some time to kill. I wasn't just like staring at the wall. I finally minced up some veggies and some ham, and I have everything prepped. Let's get saucing. That's not a word. So we're gonna do the old switcheroo, because I need this burner for filming. Bring over your favorite saucepan. 2 tablespoons of butter. Finely minced up onion, carrot, and celery. I need 3 tablespoons of the onion. This is how I'm gonna do it. Good job. 3 tablespoons of carrots, 2 tablespoons of celery, and finely minced up ham. That's a tablespoon worth, give or take. All right, Charles. So let's just keep that stirring. I need these to start turning brown. It's gonna take around 10 to 12 minutes. You're gonna need around 3 cups worth of pearl onions. Is this how you measure pearl onion? What a weird way to measure onions, with 3 cups worth of whole pearl onions. Oh, she says 10 ounces. So. Okay, great. You can save those for personal use. Here's the thing, I keep buying these pearl onions and they're already peeled, which is just a godsend. I can't tell you how great that is, because the rest of the paragraph that I'm looking at here it goes into detail on how to peel these things. And let me tell you, it's a bit of a chore. So yeah, we're skipping that step. All right, Charlie Brown, tell me what you see. It's almost turning brown here. So let's prep. 1 cup of a dry white wine. I'm using a Sauvignon Blanc. And we gotta reduce, well, maybe that should turn brown. A little bit more brown before I do that. Pour this in and reduce it by 1/3 of its volume. That's gonna require me to crank it, boil it, deglaze, and scrape up all the fawn stuff. So what I need to do is hijack or steal 1 cup of this tongue stock, which is something I never thought I'd hear myself say, but here we are. Got a plan here. So this is 1 cup, and I just pour it through the sieve so I don't... Hell yeah. And we can put this stuff back where it belongs. And that tongue stock is in there, cool. In addition to that, 1 cup of beef stock. The difference maker in all of this is 1 bay leaf. It's 1/2 cup of raisins. And the pearl onions. So I gotta cover it, keep it simmering till the onions are tender. 40 to 60 minutes, right on schedule. Julia has her suggestions of how to accompany the dish. And I just had a special delivery of a couple items from someone very special. Hi. Got the goods?
I got presents for you.
Vent. Baguette. The asparagus.
I'm like 5 mimosas deep right now.
And the asparagus. Thank you. It's gonna make it that much better while we're waiting for everything to get in order. Now, Julia makes a note of accompanying the dish with the wine, but I think, why don't we accompany the cooking with the wine as well? Cheers. That's the stuff. Let's continue on our merry way here. All right, we're gonna need another cookbook for this one, volume 1. So I've done this one before, buttered asparagus tips. It was fantastic, so much so that I made it on the show and off the show. I mean, obviously I only need to make enough for myself. Break it right to the end and snap. About 1 inch from the end, snap. All right, you break off all the butts, you're left with the spears and the tips. Now she wants me to do this weird task where I have to scrape off all the scales below the tip, and I believe the scales are, like, these are the scales. So I'm just gonna pointlessly cut these off. Don't ask questions. Don't know what purpose this serves, but just shut your mouth and do it, all right? Cut the tips so each one of them is 1.5 inches long. And tied in a bundle. And then we dice this up. Saucepan with water. I'm halving this recipe, right? Okay, so like 1 tablespoon of salt, and then I gotta bring this to a boil, but stovetop's getting pretty busy over there, so we'll find a place. Once the water's boiling, add in the diced asparagus spears, 5 minutes. After that, turn the water down to a simmer and add your little bundle, 5 to 8 minutes. Things are moving along swimmingly, might I add. Swimmingly. Asparagus has been blanched. I need to drain this. Okay, everything is tender, sweet baby tender. I got a baking dish, that's kind of nice looking. I'm gonna butter the inside of this bad boy with some butter. Then add in the diced asparagus spears. And then we gotta season this with salt and pepper. There's a little pepper and a little salt fresh out. And a little salt. All right, so I have like a tablespoon or two of, depends on how much asparagus you're making, you know? For me, I'm only making enough for moi, so I don't need that much butter. Anyway, drizzle some of the melted butter on top of the spears here, and then we arrange the tips. Season again, a little salt, peps, and the remaining melted butter. Oven is at 325. This goes in for, what the hell is that doing in there? That's for another video. This goes in for 10 to 15. Okay, let's finish this sauce here. Tablespoon of cornstarch. 3 tablespoons of Dijon. Gonna mix that together, turn it into a paste. Bring over the sauce. Ow, that's hot. Woo! So the onions are very, very tender. That's great. Pour in around half a cup of the cooking liquid in with the mustard and the cornstarch. I don't want any of that stuff. That can go back over there. Blend that together. So this goes back into here. And I'm gonna simmer this for another 2 minutes. Ow, that's hot. All right, so that sauce needs to be lightly thickened. I need a minute here. A minute to think. Time has come. Okay. So we gotta get this tongue out of here. Lovely. The tongue stock can go over here. So what do? The tongue is done when I can pierce the meat easily with a knife. Yeah. Quickly plunge this into some cold water just to cool it off. I need to peel it, like this skin, like the tongue skin, the outer tougher layer. Slit the nubbly skin covering all around the top circumference of the tongue. Using your fingers and a knife, if you need one, peel the top surface of the tongue. Skin should come off quite easily. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Oh dear. Okay, so this is coming off very easily. Oh man, that is wild. Okay, let's just keep it going. Oh my God. Oh dear God. This skin right here feels like the leather on a basketball. Okay, so peel. Oh my God. Whoa. Wow. That is f***ing wild. All right, so the skin has come off quite easily. As long as I have my wine handy. I can see the glass over there is empty. Oh dear. That was not fun, but you got it done. And okay, this, like, I don't even need to look at the book here. This is obviously some less than desirable pieces that I do not need to be eating. Oh, there's like a membrane here as well. That can go. Oh yeah, look at those pieces here. I mean, it is kind of slimy, honestly. Yeah. I think the secret right here with this is just not to look at it, because it looks like a tongue. This helps. When slicing the tongue, try for even pieces 3/8 inch thick and as uniform in diameter as possible. Place the hot tongue on a carving board and cut several vertical slices off the thick end, and then continue at the thick end. Start gradually slicing on the bias, angling the back of your knife progressively down toward the board as you come off the hump. Your blade will almost be horizontal as you reach the tip of the tongue. Let's just kind of trim that a bit. Don't really want to be eating that. 2-3 tablespoons of softened butter. I'm gonna add that into the sauce. And let's just reheat this carefully over here. Arrange the slices of the tongue down the center of a hot, lightly buttered oval plate. Well, this is what I got, and I don't think I need to butter it. Spoon some of the sauce with the raisins and the onions over the top of the tongue. Bring over the asparagus. What was the wine? There's one other, oh yeah. And a baguette. Order up. So I guess this is happening, right? Beef tongue, eh? My thinking is probably a little more sauce on top wouldn't hurt, right? A little liquid courage. You know, truthfully, this is pretty damn good. The toughest part of all of this meal here is just taking that visual out of your head that you're eating a giant ass tongue. If you can do that, reality kind of sets in here, that you're eating just a well-made, home-cooked meal. That's what it tastes like. With or without the wine. The wine helps though, because it doesn't look appetizing. There's like weird bumps all over it, and you know, the skin, I mean, peeling off that skin with something else. I've shocked myself over here, and no, I did not call myself an ambulance. I'm gonna be okay. The tongue itself, if I could describe the taste of it, doesn't taste awful. Not awful, but like awful. Or is it awful? I think it's awful. It tastes like a good chunk of beef meat. That's how I could describe it. If I'm gonna eat cow tongue, I think I need the comfort of everything else on the dish. That includes the sweet and sour sauce, which is as described, sweet and sour. With the onions, the raisins, it just kind of wraps around you like a blanket. It's like a security blanket while you take a bite out of the tongue. You know, that's it. You just put a little love into like a good home-cooked meal, you're gonna be a happy camper. That's what the show is all about, the spirit of it at least. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. Au revoir. I'm experimenting, eating good food, drinking good wine. Well, no, actually this is the first, but drinking good wine on the show periodically.